Minho bring you warm water to drink. You are grateful to him. He didn't left his side. You almost lost your conscience, but he supported you. You felt hungry, numb and cold. So cold. Your heart felt cold. You need his warmth. You had been standing there for so long, but he didn't want to see you. Or perhaps he didn't even know that you were waiting for him here? Or was it that even if he knew, he wouldn't come out to see you? Because you had made him wait for you for so long, but you didn't appear, so he was now taking revenge on you. In fact, Jungkook didn't even let Minho explain nor let him come into the room. Whenever he go to talk, Minho will get scolded coldly from inside or hear things throwing. Guess how angry young master was? Suddenly, thunder rang out in the sky. The lightning cut through half of the sky, scaring everyone. Minho tell you to go stand beside door to avoid the rain. Your heart was dark as sky now. Minho wanted to give it one last time try, so he ran fast towards building. It's already 4 in the morning and the weather became wild. Minho was too fast that you didn't stop him. You walked slowly as Minho said you to stand beside gate with guards, but your legs became numb. Guards immediately shouted to avoid the rain. You nodded and was about to vent, but fell forward onto the knees and you rolled over in pain. Rainfall wetting you soon. However, you still had to get up and wanted to avoid the rain, to wait for Jungkook to come out and see you. You had so many things to say to him, and you wanted to believe him and love without hesitation. But why didn't he comes out? It hurts. Tears come mixing with rain. They saw your condition and was worried, almost cried for you. Minho has not come back yet. One of guard ran to help you, but someone angrily shouted, "Don't go, there is no need." Familiar voice sounded. Before you could move, your body was suddenly lifted up by someone. You came into a warm embrace. Everything you have done is enough. A voice sounded above your head, wrapping your body by warm arms. You smelled and found unfamiliar scent. There was even a faint smell of blood. Come with me. You do not need to stay here anymore. Since he doesn't want to see you, you should also keep your pride. You immediately looked at the person in surprise. Your hand subconsciously wrapped around his neck while he lifted Junghan. You were stunned. Why was he here? Shouldn't he have gone back to the hospital? It was already 4 in the morning, but he still appeared here and even said those things to you. Doesn't that mean? Tears filled in your eyes. You, why did you come here? Fool, he smiled. Didn't I say that I would bring you to him? You have not seen him yet. How can I leave you alone? He doesn't want to see me. Tears fell as you bite your lower lip. It's okay. He resisted the urge to wipe away your tears and faintly smiled. It doesn't matter if he sees you or not. Now, Jungkook, since he doesn't want to see you, I will take you away from here. He turned around and walked. Your expression changed as you quickly grabbed his collar. No, I can't leave this place. I want to wait for him here. I have many things to say to him. He stopped in his track and lowered his eyes. His gaze was somewhat reproachful. Don't you understand? He doesn't want to see you at all. As long as he cares about you, he won't let you go until now. I have been suppressing the urge to get out of the car to let you understand. Do you still want to be stubborn now? His words immediately pierced your sore spot, making you unable to say a word. You look at him in a daze, crying softly. But tonight is indeed my fault. I said that I would come, but I made him wait all night and I didn't show up. He is now taking revenge on me. Let me have a taste of waiting for someone. I should understand him. Don't think too much. This isn't your fault. There was an accident. If this is also your fault, then Jungkook, would do the same. Today is an unforgivable crime. Why? Elder brother will bring you out of here first. Your body is too weak and you are injured today. If you stay any longer, you will be not be able to endure it. He didn't care and walked forward, carrying you. You struggled. No, I don't want to go. I said I would wait here until he sees me. I can't leave. He grunted and you immediately stopped struggling. Didn't dare to struggle anymore because you knew that he had serious injuries. You must have touched his wound. When you struggled, when he saw you stopped, he smiled bitterly. Why don't you continue struggling? You can push me away and then go back to that door, but I want to tell you that I have been watching from the side. Now that I have decided to take you away, I will not let you go easily unless I fall in the rain. Otherwise, I won't let you go back and sweep your dignity. Junghan, why are you doing this? You cried. What about you? Why are you doing this? You couldn't say anything and let him carry you away from there. I'm pregnant with his child, but you are pregnant with an illegitimate child. Do you think young Master John will still want you? Young Master John doesn't want to see you. You can never step into this door again. From now on, you will no longer be young madam of the John family. Please leave. This is that divorce contract. Sign your name. You will no longer have anything to do with me. You have already married into a wealthy family like the Jones. If Tani didn't give you this opportunity, would you have the chance to become the second young madam of the Jones family? What's wrong with asking you to help me pay back some gambling debts? I raised you up so much. Shouldn't this be the case? Look at how ugly you are. Which man would want you? The husband who shared the bed with you didn't even touch you for a year. Can't you reflect on why? Get lost, get out of the June family, and never come back. The people and things that happened in the past keep haunting you, making your heart weak. They keep attacking until you felt numb and fell down. Don't chase me away, don't. He had been guarding you for hours. You kept muttering in your sleep like that. His eyes are full of pain. He didn't have single rest ever since he brought you to the hospital. You had a high fever and it had not subsided because of your pregnancy. Doctor didn't give randomly medicine to use, so you could only physically cool down. He sat by your side, watching and taking care of you. Even there was nurse to guide. Nurse remind him to take a rest since he is injured and also drenched in the rain. If he didn't take rest, it might get worse, but he resisted and keep changing cloths that applying on your forehead to decreased hotness. Nurse was worried if he continues to guard like that, he might affect you. If he also get fever, nurse called the doctor to treat Junghan and give him some medicine for sleep. He had been resisting to sleep, even his eyes felt heavier. He laid on the bed, not far away from you. He had to look after you. With the doctor's suggestions, they let him stay him in the same ward as yours. He was afraid if he accidentally asleep, when you will woke up halfway, will you run away from there? So he keeps staring at you until he couldn't take it. Sleep started to approach him, so he wanted to call someone to guard you. He won't be easy, only nurse by your side. His phone was out of battery. so he requested the nurse to give him charger. He almost fall asleep but immediately opened his eyes. He can't sleep. Forget it, just bear with it. After a while, he called his secretary to come over. She was stunned why he called her early in the morning. It's a bit complicated. Anyway, I need your help now. Solar immediately nodded and collected all the documents and paper before rushing to the hospital. Then he finally fell asleep. Their guarding nurses couldn't help but looked at Junghan's handsome face and then roared and couldn't help gossiping. This man really have great affection to this woman. He don't even care about himself. How strong is his willpower? No normal person can bear for this long and withstand. The way he looked at this girl was so deep. Such a man, too affectionate, too handsome. When you wake up, first person you saw was Solar, Junghan's capable secretary, and she immediately knew what was most important to Junghan. So she'd take a good care of you. When you wake up, she talked with you and give you some warm soaps to drink. Solar rushed with some documents and paper and notes, thinking that Junghan must have some important matter to discuss about, so she bring all this but found out the situation like that. After telling him to rest assured because she will take care of you, she didn't disturb him and sat beside you working. She was wondering last night Deputy Director Joan was all okay, but suddenly this much injured. She was so sleepy but drink some coffee. You saw Junghan like that and felt guilty. Those people in the dream said heartless words and kept attacking, and you didn't know how to refute it. You ran away from them, but they keep following you. You blamed yourself when you thought of his serious injuries and he looked after you. This person really was. You didn't know what to say about him. If there was not any harm to him, you could reject him very thoroughly, even if he was very good to you. You could still reject him mercilessly. You can't return his feelings, but why did he still treat you so well? It will be so good if you can return his feelings, but you can't repay them. What the use of him being this nice? Why didn't he understand? Solar said even Junghan looked gentle. He is a determined person. He can't give up easily but won't harm definitely. He was willing to do this and you knew it. You didn't ask for it. He doesn't need repayment. Previously, it was indeed your heart is a villain, but you didn't think that in the future he won't give you any pressure to be with him for sure, and you can't as well. You have to go and see that man, but you can't leave Junghan behind who did a lot for you. You will wait there until he wake up. You are not that cruel. Solar said what she needed and didn't bother much. She called her mother to bring some handmade food for you. Her mother came. It was so good and fun actually. The pair of mother and daughter have such a great relationship that you never had with your mother. You miss your mother. Her mother said that your child was really a strong. You had accident and drenched in the rain, then had fever but still safe. That little creature was really lucky fellow. You laugh and talk a lot for a long. Then Solar's mother went to home. For a while, you forget the pain in your heart. You looked at Junghan. It was already 15 or 16 hours, but he didn't wake up. His condition was worsened, but he is fine because of his physical fitness. Doctor was forced to give him some medicine to make him sleep. He will wake up soon. You are a little relieved and thought of Jungkook. One night passed. You didn't know how his side was doing. You didn't know if he still blamed you or still angry at you and didn't want to see you. Junghan had not woken yet and you didn't dare to leave. You could only lie on the bed. At evening, Solar asked her mother to cook some porridge for you and bring over. Her mother is such a talkative and kind. She personally served you food and kept reminding you to take care of your body. Solar couldn't help. Mom, I just asked you to help me deliver the porridge. Don't say too much. It's very annoying. Her mom smiled. Don't take offense, miss. I just have this temper. Seeing that you are the same age as my girl, my heart aches a lot. You felt warm. They are like a best friend. They are very good to each other. Sometimes you envious. You had always been strong, and your mother gave the responsibility of your younger sisters to take care of her. You was not that old. You both are just 2 years apart, but your mother never taught on Danny but you. When you grew up and think that it's indeed your responsibility as a big sister and never said no to anyone in the family. You felt very happy having them until your mother asked you to replace Dani to marry into Joan family. After you divorced, then everything changed and Watson, Solar's mother, embraced you, noticing that you lost in somewhere else. You were very satisfied and hugged her tightly. Her mother felt that Solar was jealous, so she pulled her to join hug as well. You all laugh. Solar's mother urged you to drink porridge before it gets cold. After that, her mother went home since it's already night. After a while, Junghan wake up. You were laying and almost fall asleep when you heard a sound and looked at the direction of Junghan. Solar immediately went to greet and give him something warm to drink. He was very considerate, but he looked at where you are. Solar was stunned before giving sight of you and softly explained that you had long awake and you are fine. You don't have fever, even though your face was little pale, but your mental state was better than before. His dried lips curved. It's good that she's fine. Solar handed some water, but he didn't move and only looked at you. Originally, you just looking at him to see if he was okay, but his burning gaze made you very embarrassed. Solar was still holding cup and also felt little awkward. You coughed lightly, a little embarrassedly, and then lifted the blanket before getting off the bed. You walked Solar's side. She handed the cup of water to you with a smile. Your eyes coincidentally met hers. She gave a kind of look. I will go and buy something. I will come back immediately. She walked out with her high heels energetically. His eyes flashed a smile. This secretary was really in his heart at an important. She really knew what's good to do. That elder brother, you just woke up. Have some water? You passed a cup of water to him, indicating for him to drink, but he didn't say anything or take a glass, just to keep looking at you quietly. No, not thirsty. You held the cup, not knowing what to do, no strength. He said indifferently. You didn't understand what he meant at first, but then you suddenly realized that he was saying he didn't have the strength to take the cup and wants you to feed him water. Your face immediately turned red. Under his gaze, you were extremely embarrassed, so you nervously put the cup on the table. Noticing your actions, the light in his eyes dimmed a little. His lips moved. In the end, it was still you. He didn't say anything. The atmosphere in the ward was extremely awkward. Your relationship with him could not possibly take the initiative to feed him anything, not even water. At most, you can only bring the cup to him and let him drink by himself. How about I call the nurse? You seemed to have grabbed onto a life-saving straw. At this point, you suddenly turned to leave. He looked at your back and didn't show whether to laugh or cry. For a cup of water, you actually thought of going to find the nurse. Come back, he weakly called you. You had no choice but to stop and looked back at him nervously. You looked pitiful, as if he has made a very difficult request. Maybe he also know that it was not possibly possible for the relationship you both have. You are still lawfully his step little brother's wife after all. After staying in the hospital for 3 whole days, he indicated that he wanted discharged. You were stunned and solar as well. His injuries was not recovered yet, and doctor told him to stay for a week, but he said that he have matters to settle in the company and requested Solar to settle the discharge procedures. You felt guilt and stood beside staring at him. Don't tell me you want to leave the hospital early because you have imprisoned me in the hospital. He smiled lightly. Silly, what are you thinking? I'm a man and these are just superficial wounds. It is not proper to stay in the hospital all the time. Your lips trembled to say, but he reached out to rub your head. If he didn't get out of the hospital, you won't leave too. So he could only use this method to force you to leave. Junghan, why did you put so much effort into this? Some reason you felt you were a bad person. You both didn't know each other for long. You didn't know he would do so much for you. Even if both of you like each other, you never reached such a stage because of your heart was only restless for that man. You couldn't refuse, so Solar settled the discharge procedures. Even after doctor told to stay for a few more days, Junghan won't listen. After packing things, three of you walked out. Solar was leading you to sit inside, but Junghan suddenly said, "She has another place to go, Solar." She was confused. "But are not we going to bring Miss Yu with us?" Junghan's face was little pale and didn't say anything. You blinked, biting your lips. "It's okay. I do have another place to go. You guys go first. I will leave by myself." Solar couldn't understand why did he do that. He clearly liked this woman, right? But why he didn't take the opportunity to bring you into the car now? He wanted to leave you in front of the hospital. Wouldn't that lower the affability level? Junghan sat on the passenger seat. "Come on up." He asked Solar to get in the car with his determination eyes, which indicated his current position and attitude. There was no other way, so Solar get in the driver's seat, accompanying him, then bade goodbye to you. You were happy and very grateful to him. You looked around before walking. Ryan? A familiar, sweet voice made you stunned and turned to see Jenny standing opposite side of the street with bag. She waved, smiling. Here, you blankly looked at that direction. No wonder Junghan could go freely. It turned out that he had prepared everything for you. Your phone was missing and couldn't contact. You are not surprised that I'm here. Do you still not know why this bag is with me? So Jenny didn't know what had happened until she got call informing her to go pick you up from the hospital. You didn't expect Junghan to thought of everything. You thought he was bad person at first place. Your eyes turned red as you walked over, but Jenny shouted, "Stand there and don't move. I am coming to you." She came little jogging to you and stuffed a bag into your hands. "Hey, this is yours. You took it?" Your bag was with her. This, why is it with you? What did you think? She rolled her eyes. "Let's go. After staying here, you have lost a lot of weight. Furthermore, the corner of your mouth is still hurt." Let's go to my place. I will buy some meat, then make a soup later. You were extremely touched and followed her to the car to return at her home. She indeed make a soup for you. You had been staying in the hospital for 3 days and Solar's mother cooked food for you. So you didn't had any bad taste there. You experienced homemade food, but it's just that Jenny's soup gave you a different feeling. Deputy Director Joan has already told me about your matter. You stopped drinking. What do you think now? Deputy Director is so good to you. Do you really not give him a chance? Or do you want to go back to young master's side?